coming back to the Vikings, what sells the Vikings is the violence. Unfortunately, it's like our obsession with violence and the idea that the Viking is the winner. It's this big, tough guy. He always wins, and he is a he. Also. Yeah.
But we talked about that last week.
What's really interesting is, and it's also, I also when I give lectures, I talk to like kids and students. There's also this, probably Hollywood-based idea of your iconic Viking, who is this tall, muscular, blonde guy who is this, like a super boss in a computer game, and he just, runs and kills everything. But in fact, if you look at the skeletons and you look at the lifespan, the average lifespan is some 30 or 40 years. The average body build, these were boys, basically. These were guys standing about 1 meter 60, 70 centimeters tall. Usually, probably skinny. They don't look like, your super bodybuilders. They probably look like your Muay Thai fighters. That's probably the look. Yeah.
Thanks, Ibn Fadlan.
They look like when they go on their Viking expeditions, they look like teenagers, probably.
Yeah. I joke because that's the Arab chronicler Ibn Fadlan describes them as tall as palm trees and built like, and the way he describes, and I feel like that's what we in modern times have latched onto. I think the Annals of Fulda also describe a botched raid on Aachen. And they talked about, and that's where they talked about like blue tattoos too. So everybody's like, oh, all the Vikings had tattoos. What? Because they mentioned it once.
Why not? I mean, tattooing is it has been known for a very long time, and all kinds of like bodily modifications. I wouldn't doubt that. We cannot prove it archaeologically, unfortunately, but there's mentions of eye makeup in the sources that speak about Scandinavians, several independent sources. So why not?
I was just pointing out that it's a big leap to take one mention and then say blanket everybody had tattoos. I do think at least the Carolingians had a vested interest in propaganda against Scandinavians because they shared a border with the Danes, right? So a lot of these things that are being relayed to us about them, there's this whole idea that the Vikings were taller than average Europeans at the time, which is, we can't say that, but there is going back to the Annals of Fulda, I think it was the Annals of Fulda, if I may be wrong on that, but there is a Carolingian chronicle that talks about this botched raid, and they describe the slain bodies as being extremely tall, blonde, kind of this trope of Vikings. And that mention has informed 19th century historians that then popularized it. So now we have this vision of these like tall, but it's just we're misinterpreting Carolingian propaganda to demonize these people who were raiding into their territory. But also there's a vested interest because I think the Carolingians, being expansionists as they were, and I do believe they expanded into parts of Poland as well, they were probably planning at some point to invade and subdue, but they're just trying to rally public opinion almost. Well, that wasn't super important to them.